A joint CBS News Reuters investigation discovered new evidence of potential fraud inside the military's privatized housing program, where some military families live with roaches and black mold. A former insider at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas describes to us the practices of falsifying reports in order for a housing contractor to qualify for big bonuses. These allegations are similar to practices at an Oklahoma base that we investigated back in June. Omar Villafranca is in Dallas for us. Omar, good morning. Disturbing stuff here. What else did you find?
Well, a former employee at Balfour Beatty Communities told us that work issues would take days, sometimes even weeks to fix if they were fixed at all. And on paper, everything was above board, but she said the pressure to falsify records came from management.
And I told him, I said, this is lying. It's not right.
For nearly 5 years, Teresa Anderson answered maintenance calls for Balfour Beatty Communities at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio.
You had over 1,000 homes that you were responsible for. Did you have enough staff to cover that?
No. We were only allotted to have 9 technicians.
How is that physically possible?
It's not.
As work orders piled up, wait times grew. Yet emails reviewed by CBS News reveal instructions from Anderson's supervisors that completion times need to be adjusted to ensure that records showed over 95% of work orders were resolved on time.
Did it ever dip below 95%?
It was always up below that, always.
By reporting a high on-time completion rate, Balfour Beatty remained eligible for big bonuses, worth more than $2 million over the last 10 years at Lackland alone. The bonuses are paid from service members' paychecks.
I kept telling him, we can't be closing out work orders that aren't complete.
Did you ever think of quitting?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Because I needed the money.
It's okay.
Anderson says she felt pressure from community manager Stacy Nelson, who wrote in one exchange from 2016, "It's not only me on the line, but my boss and her boss." She then ordered Anderson and others to close out maintenance requests today, adding, "I don't care what it takes." But emails show orders to fudge the numbers came from Nelson's superiors, and she described to Reuters the pressure she was under. "You either make these numbers match so we can get the incentive fees, or you may not have a job tomorrow," she said. In response to questions from Reuters and CBS News, Balfour Beatty said they have ordered an investigation into fraud allegations and an independent accounting review. The company said both Nelson and Anderson were fired in 2016 for performance-related issues, and they are conducting a comprehensive review of work order practices across its Army and Navy bases.
Is Lackland Air Force Base the worst place you've lived?
Yes, and that's what's just mind-blowing.
Roxanne Rolshin's husband is a weapons instructor in the Air Force. Her family lived on 4 different military bases before moving to Lackland in June.
How soon were you seeing roaches in your home?
That night,
The same day?
the same day.
What was your tipping point?
I opened the cabinet under the kitchen sink. There was black mold.
Assistant Secretary of the Air Force John Henderson told CBS News his office is referring to allegations of misconduct at Lackland for investigation and warned of formal action unless there's prompt and substantial improvement from Balfour Beatty.
When you hear about falsification of records, what's your reaction knowing that you're living in one of these homes?
Disgust. How do you sleep at night?
Did you feel bad about doing this or having to do this?
Yeah. It wasn't right. It was, to me, it's not taking care of the residents who are in this military world where they're going out and fighting for us.
After the first CBS News Reuters investigation, the Air Force suspended all bonus fees for all their bases where Balfour Beatty operates. And right now, the Air Force is investigating allegations of record-keeping fraud at least 5 bases. Tony?
Omar, thank you very much. That's a powerful investigation.
Yeah, it sure is.
So questions nobody ever wants to hear.
Yep.
How soon did you see roaches in your home?
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you what, I've seen some roaches in one night in an apartment in New York, but
Yeah.
shouldn't be
You shouldn't see it on a military base.
It should not be happening on a military base. Exactly right.